So in this video, we're going to be looking at how to simplify algebraic expressions. But before we proceed, we need to understand certain things. And what is that? Number one, we have what is a term. A term is a number, a variable, a product or quotient of numbers and variables, e.g. For example, if you have 2x squared plus 5x minus 3 is equal to 0. This 2x squared is a term in this particular quadratic equation. 5x is a term, minus 3 is also a term. If you have, let's say, 2 over 3x plus 5 is equal to 6, each of these are terms. So they are actually variables or combination of variables and numbers that are present in an algebraic expression or equation. Then we want to look at what a coefficient is. The coefficient of a term is a number that multiplies a variable. For example, what I wrote here as 2x squared. The variable here is what? X squared. While the coefficient is what? 2. Alright. So now, for example, now 8x squared y. The coefficient of what? X squared y is what? Is 8. In 4m over 5. Basically, if I have 4m over 5. If I want to write this, I can write it as 4 over 5m. So basically, the coefficient of m is what? 4 over 5. That is all. So basically, coefficient, right, is a number. So coefficients are not variables. They are numbers that multiplies a variable. So though in some cases people use them, interchangeably, just to, express what multiplies the other. For example, if you have what? 2x squared, obviously we know that the coefficient of x squared is 2. Some people may say the coefficient of 2 is x squared. That is wrong. So that is that about that. Now let's now move on to the next part. Properties of algebraic expression. Understanding these properties would actually help in solving or simplifying algebraic expression or equation. So number one, we have what we call the distributive properties. So for any real number ABC, the following holds. If you have a into bracket b plus c, you can distribute a to b and c. What do I mean? So if you have, say, we have what? A into bracket b plus c. What it means is a times b will give us what? ab. Then a times c, that because this is plus, right, that will be plus what? AC. So that is how we got this. The same thing applies to this. If you have a into bracket b minus c, we are using a to open this bracket. So a times b, that will be what? ab. Then a times minus c, this minus will flow with it. Obviously, let me make something clear. The sign in front of a here is actually plus. So plus times minus is still what? Minus. So a times c, that is what? AC. That is why we have minus AC. But in the case of this one, what is here is plus. So plus times plus is plus. Then a times c is AC. So before I proceed, let me quickly make this clear. Plus times plus will give you what? Plus. Plus times minus would give you minus. Minus times plus will give you minus. Right? Then minus times minus would give you plus. So please note this multiplication of sign. They will actually help in solving algebraic equation or expression. Then we move on to commutative property. So for any real number a and b, then a plus b is also equal to b plus a. That's commutative. Yeah, that is. So if I say 2 plus 3 is the same thing as 3 plus 2, and that will give us what? 5. How do I know? The sign in front of 2 here is plus. Most of the time, when we don't put a sign to a particular number or variable, that sign is positive. It is only negative that must be indicative in anything we are writing. So this is also like saying what? Plus 3 plus 2. That is what? Plus 5. So the same thing applies to this. A times b is equal to b times a. It's just like saying 2 times 3 is equal to what? 3 times 2, which is equal to what? Which is equal to 6. So lastly, associative property. So for any real number a, b, and c, a plus b plus c is equal to what? A plus into bracket b plus c. How do I mean? So if you have, say, 2 plus 3, right, plus 5, what we are saying is that all of these, they are the same, because what is connecting them is addition. So if you remove this bracket, you can still have it as what, 2 plus what, 3 plus 5. It will still give you the same result, but it is not, in the case of multiplication. If it is multiplication that is here, you have to use that, this particular 5 to open this bracket. So this is almost like saying 2 plus 3 plus what, plus 5. And 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 plus 5, that is what, 10. Now for this other one, if you have AB into bracket C, so what is inside the bracket is multiplication, just like what you have here: addition, addition, multiplication, multiplication. So AB into bracket C is the same thing as saying AB, right, times what, C. And it's also the same thing as saying A into bracket BC, because the truth is, if I have what, 2 AB here basically can be written as, if I represent the variable with number, it's just like saying 2 times 3, right, that times what, times 4 is the same thing as saying what, 2 times 3, right? Okay, 2 times 3 times 4 is the same thing as 2 times 3 times 4. I'm still writing the same thing, because A represents 2, B represent 3, A represent 2, B represent 3. So if I want to now write it in this form, that will be what, 2 times into bracket 3 times 4, and that will give me 2 times 3, 6 times 4, that is what, 24. So all these rules are very important when dealing with algebraic expression or equation. And also, there's also the importance of these signs. These signs are also very important when dealing with algebraic equation and expression. So in the next video, we're going to be looking at the examples, how we apply what I've mentioned here, and how to make some sense. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye.